I thought I had the perfect marriage. Turns out, my wife had been playing a dirty little game behind my back. But instead of confronting her right away, I decided to turn the tables, exposing her in a way she'd never forget. And no matter how well someone hides their secrets, the truth always finds a way out. And when it did, my wife's entire world came crashing down. Betrayal doesn't happen overnight. It starts with small cracks, tiny moments that don't seem significant at first. A change in routine, a missed call, a lingering look that doesn't sit right. I ignored those signs at first. I trusted my wife. I loved her. I never imagined that behind my back, she was living a double life. But when the truth started unraveling, it wasn't just an affair. It was a web of deception so deep, so shocking, that I knew I couldn't just walk away. No, I needed her to feel the humiliation I felt. I needed her to experience the same pain, the same betrayal, right in front of everyone she had fooled. And so I waited, I watched, I planned, until the day finally came when I pulled the curtain back on her dirty little secrets. What would you have done in my place? Would you have exposed her, or just walked away? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love hearing real-life stories of betrayal, subscribe for more. I met Lisa 10 years ago, and from the moment our eyes met, I knew she was special. We had the kind of love that felt effortless, the kind that made the world fade away when we were together. She wasn't just my wife. She was my best friend, my confidant, the person I trusted more than anyone else in the world. We built a life together, brick by brick, memory by memory. Our home was filled with warmth and laughter, the kind that echoed through the walls late into the night. We whispered about our dreams under the covers, made promises over candlelit dinners, and held each other through the storms life threw our way. I thought we were unbreakable. I thought we had it all. But then, little things changed. At first, they were barely noticeable, small shifts in the way she moved, the way she spoke, the way she looked at me. The kisses that used to linger just a little longer became quick pecks, obligatory rather than passionate. The conversations that once stretched for hours dwindled into short, distracted responses. She started spending more time on her phone, laughing at messages she refused to share, tucking it away the moment I walked into the room. I told myself I was imagining it. Maybe I was just being paranoid. Maybe she was stressed. Maybe I was reading too much into things when she hesitated before saying, "I love you." When her touch felt colder, when she started dressing up more for girls' nights than she ever did for me. But then came the phone call. It was late, past midnight, when her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Half asleep, I reached for it out of habit, expecting a spam call or a late text from a friend. But the number was unfamiliar, and before I could even process it, Lisa snatched the phone from my hands like a reflex. She turned pale. Her fingers trembled as she declined the call. "Who was that?" I asked, my voice still groggy. She forced a laugh, but it was hollow, uneasy. "Oh, just a wrong number," she said, too quickly, her eyes darting away from mine. And in that moment, something in my gut twisted. She wouldn't look at me, wouldn't meet my eyes, wouldn't explain why a so-called wrong number had shaken her so badly. And that's when I knew. The doubt that had been gnawing at the edges of my mind suddenly took shape, solid and undeniable. Something was wrong. I just didn't know how deep the betrayal went. It started small. A shift in her laughter, a hesitation before answering my questions, a lingering glance at her phone before she locked the screen. I told myself I was being paranoid, that I was looking for problems where there were none. But once suspicion takes root, it grows like poison, spreading through every thought, every interaction, every quiet moment between us. So, I started paying closer attention, watching her when she thought I wasn't looking, listening for inconsistencies in her stories, noticing the little things I had once ignored, the way she'd smile at her screen but quickly turn it off when I walked into the room, the way she'd go to the bathroom with her phone clutched tightly in her hand, as if letting it out of her sight for even a second was dangerous, the way she started wearing perfume to casual dinners with friends, perfume she never wore for me. Then one night it happened. She left her phone unlocked on the counter. I stood there, staring at it, my heart pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. I knew this was my moment. The proof, the truth was right there within reach. If I picked it up, there would be no turning back. But I had to know. With shaking hands, I picked up her phone and started scrolling through her messages. Most of them were harmless chats with friends, a group conversation about weekend plans, messages from coworkers. But then I saw his name, Jake. At first, the messages seemed innocent. Inside jokes, friendly banter, nothing outright suspicious. But as I scrolled further, the tone shifted. The way they spoke to each other, it was too familiar, too personal. Then, I found the messages that shattered everything. Hidden beneath careful phrasing and coded words were plans. Meetings. Conversations dripping with intimacy. I can't wait to see you again. Last night was amazing. I miss you already. Just a few more days, and we'll have the whole weekend together. I felt sick. A burning sensation crawled up my throat, my pulse roaring in my ears. My wife, my Lisa, hadn't just been lying to me. She had built an entirely separate reality, one where I didn't exist. I wanted to confront her right then, to throw the phone at her feet and demand the truth. But rage is a funny thing. It can make you reckless, or it can make you patient. And I wasn't going to be reckless. Instead, I did something she never expected. I started gathering evidence. I checked her location history, cross-referenced her texts with her supposed whereabouts. I found deleted messages, retrieved conversations she thought had been erased forever. Every new discovery was a fresh wound. Every lie another knife in my back. But I didn't stop there. I needed proof beyond doubt, something undeniable. So, I hired a private investigator. Someone who could see what I couldn't, follow where I couldn't. And when the results came back, they confirmed my worst fears, and then some. Lisa wasn't just cheating. She was leading a double life. Hotels booked under fake names. Secret weekend trips where she wasn't just a married woman sneaking around. She was introducing him to people as if she were single. As if I had never existed. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to expose her. The perfect opportunity came when Lisa told me about her upcoming business trip. She acted casual, even kissed me on the cheek as she mentioned it, spinning a story so smooth it would have fooled me if I didn't already know the truth. I played along, nodding in all the right places, pretending to be the clueless, trusting husband. But inside I was anything but. Little did she know, I had already set my trap. That weekend, as Lisa packed her bags and kissed me goodbye, I smiled and told her to have a great trip. She thought she was getting away with it. She had no idea what was waiting for her when she came back. While she was off with Jake, I made my own plans. I invited our closest friends and family over for a small celebration. Some of them thought it was for Lisa's promotion. Others assumed it was just a casual get-together. But in reality, they were all there to witness the moment her double life unraveled. As they settled in, I dimmed the lights and played a slideshow on our living room TV. At first, it was innocent, pictures of our wedding day, vacations, birthdays, anniversaries. All the moments that made us us. The room filled with warm smiles, nostalgic laughter, murmurs of admiration. And then the shift. Right in the middle of those happy memories, the truth hit like a wrecking ball. Screenshots of Lisa's texts with Jake. Messages dripping with intimacy, with deception. Photos of her sneaking around, hand in hand with the man she swore was just a friend. Hotel receipts. Location data. Evidence so damning, so undeniable, that even the most forgiving person in the room couldn't have excused it. The laughter died. Gasps. Murmurs. A heavy, suffocating silence settled over the room. Everyone saw it. Everyone knew. And then Lisa walked in. She stepped through the door, her usual bright smile plastered on her face, expecting a warm welcome. But the second her eyes landed on the screen, she froze. The blood drained from her face. For a split second, she just stood there, blinking, trying to process what she was seeing. Then realization hit. Her breathing grew shallow. Her hands trembled. She knew she was caught. The silence shattered. Gasps turned to whispers. Friends and family exchanged stunned glances, some shifting uncomfortably, others staring in pure shock. My mother covered her mouth, horrified. Lisa's best friend turned away, shaking her head. And then chaos. Lisa spun to face me, her lips parting, but no words came out at first. When she finally spoke, her voice was shaky, desperate. Wait. T, this isn't what it looks like. I can explain. I just stared at her, cold, unmoved. She stuttered, reaching for me, pleading with her eyes. But I didn't need to hear her lies anymore. The truth was right there, laid bare for everyone to see. And there was no coming back from it. Lisa's world came crashing down that night, piece by piece, like a house of cards collapsing under the weight of its own deception. Our friends, people who had once adored her, who had celebrated our love, looked at her with a mixture of disgust and disbelief. Some shook their heads, some whispered among themselves, and a few walked out without saying a word. The respect they once had for her, gone. Her family sat in stunned silence, their faces pale, their eyes downcast. Her mother, who had always called me the best thing to ever happen to Lisa, looked utterly broken. Her father, a man of few words, simply sighed, his disappointment louder than any angry outburst could ever be. And Jake, the man she had risked everything for, the man she had chosen over her husband, her vows, her dignity, nowhere to be seen. The moment things got messy, he vanished. No calls, no texts, no dramatic declarations of love. Just silence. And in that silence, Lisa realized something far worse than getting caught. She had been disposable to him. But as the chaos swirled around her, as she scrambled for excuses, stuttered through explanations no one wanted to hear, I felt something shift inside me. Relief, because for the first time in months, maybe years, I wasn't the one feeling lost, confused, or betrayed. I was in control, and I wasn't about to waste another second on a woman who had already thrown me away. The very next day, I filed for divorce. No second chances. No negotiations. No late-night conversations where she begged me to talk things through. No couples therapy. No desperate attempts to fix what she had already shattered. It wasn't just about revenge. It was about reclaiming my self-respect. About proving that betrayal doesn't go unpunished. That some mistakes don't come with do-overs. That no matter how much you love someone, once they cross certain lines, there's no going back. Lisa begged, cried, swore up and down that she would change, that she would do anything to make it right. She tried to play on our history, our memories, reminding me of the life we had built together. But some wounds run too deep. Some betrayals can't be undone. And some mistakes, they cost you everything. Betrayal is painful, but the way you handle it defines who you are. What would you have done in my place? Would you have exposed her or walked away? Let me know in the comments. And if you love hearing real-life stories of betrayal, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more shocking confessions.